Hey guys, so here bringing you another video, and welcome back to another Huzzy Q&A. We do these every 2 to 3 weeks, roughly, and I think they're pretty good to do. That it's pretty chill content with what's going on. I like doing them, and I've always liked to be a YouTuber that's connected to my audience and well connected, and I like to get to know people, and you guys get to know me. I think that's really cool. So yeah, I just have always liked doing these. So we've got questions from both Twitter and my Discord server. Not sure how long the video is going to go for. If I had to guess, maybe about half an hour, maybe a bit longer. But yeah, sit back, relax, whatever you may be doing. Get a drink, have a nice time, and hopefully you'll enjoy. If you want, by the way, feel free to leave more questions in the description below or comments below. And yeah, if you can do me a massive favor, throw a like on the video. As always, if you are always in that, like, oh, I like what Huzzy does. He never misses 2 videos a day. Like, sometimes it is hard to maintain that, I will say. But I do my best. And yeah, throw a like on the video can go a long way. And it, just takes you a second to do. But if a lot of you do it, it adds up. So thank you very much. So the first thing that we're going to go over is... First question is... What games do I play that aren't made by Riot? Ooh, okay. So again, majority of the questions I imagine will be for League of Legends. Some of them obviously won't be. Right now, pretty much none. Maybe Animal Crossing, I guess. But my Animal Crossing play, I think, has gone down the last few days. But I'm sure I'll pick it back up over time. But yeah, like I'm playing obviously a lot of League to make sure you're still getting all the content. And then on my days off, because, with what's going on, my normal day off, I used to still work. I'm actually recording this video at 8:15 in the night, which is pretty late for me to record at the moment, because I was like, oh, I can do the Q&A recording tomorrow. But then in the back of my mind, I was like, nope, on my days off, I should genuinely have a day off. No recordings, no editing, no anything. So that's why I'm doing this Q&A now. So tomorrow will be my day off, and I don't do anything on that day off. On my day off, I actually have been playing quite a lot of Valorant, however you want to say it. And that's actually the reason why you're not, and I haven't uploaded a Valorant video in like over a week, is I'm playing it, I'm still really enjoying it, but because I'm doing it on my day off, I'm not recording it. And I'm sure I'll obviously do more Valorant content upcoming, whether it's be on here on the main channel or I upload it to the second YouTube channel. I'm sure I'll do more of it, but obviously the game is in beta. They've already said, ranked play is out right now. I haven't actually done any ranked yet, but when they've already said when the actual game gets released, the beta ranks will reset. Whatever you get now in ranked doesn't matter. It's going to reset when the game goes live. When that does happen, maybe that's when we'll start uploading Valorant content, when the actual rank queue is out pretty much on live servers. But yeah, so other than that, what am I playing? Yeah, I guess I said a bit of Animal Crossing, but that's about it. I'm not really playing games other than when I'm playing Valorant in the day on my day off or playing League. I'm just chilling a lot, like in my spare time, I will say, if there was a brand new single-player story game that I was interested in, I think I would probably lose myself in that. Like, with everything going on in the world right now, how good would it have been if Cyberpunk did come out? I think all of us were probably a bit desperate for that, or a new Grand Theft Auto, or if God of War and that one came out now, or the new Red Dead came out now, and I'd never played those games before. I think they would be legitimately perfect in the current situation. And it's worth saying, I've had this conversation on stream before. My casual gameplay and casual gaming is sometimes a bit different to what you guys may experience. A lot of your casual gaming is League of Legends. That's your gaming time. League is my job. As weird as that sounds, it still sounds weird to me, but it is my job. So, and because my job is technically a multiplayer game, I love chill offline games, solo single player games. Of the recent years, I've got a list, my PlayStation 4 games up here. My favorite games that I've played: God of War, Red Dead, we mentioned them before, the Marvel Spider-Man, Detroit Become Human, all purely story driven single player games, because they're just so different to League. And obviously, yeah, I'm a massive video game person. That's obviously how I became a YouTuber, as I played a lot of video games. So I do like those a lot. So yeah, I am massively looking forward to Cyberpunk when that game does finally come out, which I think is September now, I want to say. I will definitely lose myself in that. And that is the type of game, like I did for Red Dead Redemption. I will pre-record a few days, like 3 video days at least of content to be like, right, I don't have to do any League things for 3 days, and I can just play, you know, Cyberpunk for 3 days in a row without any disturbances. I did the exact same thing for Red Dead Redemption. I legit, like, completed that game in, like, 3 days, and that's an insanely big game. So, yeah. But, yeah, at the moment, not really any games, other than Riot Games itself. So, yeah. Next up is, what would you do, to fix the League community? That's a big question. It depends your point of view. Like, what would I do? Again, there's like different ways, obviously, you can go about it. Like, do you make punishments harsher? Do you make punishments more lenient? Or do you kind of find a middle ground? So there's a lot of people that are for permabans. There's a lot of people against permabans. I'm kind of in the middle. I think they're effective, but they're not effective in a big way. So they're effective because it's punishing a toxic person. They're not effective because if it's a permaban and that, you know, that person has been so bad that their account is getting banned, genuinely, honestly, all they're going to be doing is probably making another account. And Riot doesn't stop that, obviously. So yeah, like if the person gets permabanned and doesn't quit the game, then permabans aren't that effective. Does that mean that they shouldn't get permabanned? No, it's a punishment. That's the point. Like if they're getting permabanned, they're basically getting reset if they want to continue playing League. I think that is an effective punishment, but it doesn't stop that person continuing being toxic. What I would say is, I've said it for ages, and Riot, I think, have even said they're never going to do it, and I honestly do not know why. I just don't know why toxic queue doesn't exist. Put the toxic people with toxic people, and then leave the non-toxic people to chill and play games. Like, as you guys have noticed, I do not have chat on in League of Legends anymore. I just don't think it's worth it. I might turn it back on in the future after all this craziness is over, but with the craziness of what the world is going through right now and the toxicity of League, I just can't be bothered. So after all the craziness is done, maybe I'll turn chat back on and see what it's like. You'd think that people would be happier after all the craziness is done. Probably not, though, let's be honest. But yeah, like we'll see. And yeah, my thought is put the toxic people with the toxic people. If that makes their queue times longer, well, then don't be toxic. Like, I just don't see why Riot, if I'm honest, caters to toxic people as much as they do. To me, that's very confusing because it doesn't promote toxicity, but it makes toxic people feel immune. Like, they don't feel threatened or punished, that their actions have consequences pretty much at all. So yeah. Next up is, do you have a champion or any champion that breaks your brain when you're facing them? Like, you can't do well against them. I've had a few of those picks throughout the years. Yeah, like Jack, I call them my kryptonite picks, you know, like Superman's weakness is kryptonite. Yeah, Jax used to be that for me. Aurelia's probably that for me right now. But again, every champion has got a counter, and you just have to look and find that counter and learn it and play to it. Like, of me recording this video in the next couple days, I just, slight spoiler, I play an Ari game, and I was against a Zed, and all I'll say is I have always struggled with that matchup because it's a skill matchup. Ari versus Zed, it's a classic League of Legends matchup. I recently learnt the counter to Zed when you're playing Ari, and you'll watch what happens in that game. Like, it's just finding that out. Every champion you can beat, pretty much on any champion, by the way, you just have to play it in the correct way or play it in an appropriate way. And by the way, a counter can even be not smashing that person. If you're, let's say, how do we go about this? You're playing Sion, you get countered by Darius, right? It's just a natural counter. He outtrades you, outdamages you, outsustains you. If you play Sion and you equal in farm to a Darius, in essence, you have done really well. You have beaten your counter because he is supposed to beat you. That is another form of winning. So yeah, I like, Aurelia probably my brain breaks champion right now, but I'm sure I'll learn about it, you know, in the not too distant future. I think I've gotten better versus Aurelia for sure. Next up is, what factors do I think cause the differences in skill and attitude in EU West and North American servers? So again, slight controversial question because obviously, I don't know, well, Is there such a thing as a fanboy for a server? Probably, I guess. Like, there's fanboys for consoles, for God's sake. So what I would say here, whatever I answer, please do not be offended if it's your server. All I'm going to go off is my own experience and other people's experiences that I know. One of the weirdest things to me, I remember, it's happened in comment sections, happened on Twitter, whatever, is that you'll talk about the differences in servers. Like, for example, I've played on both EU and NA, and you'll talk to somebody who is from NA or something, and it's like, have you played on EU? No, but I just know. It's like, huh? If you've not played on both servers yourself or whatever, like, it's very hard for you to put your hat in the ring, as it were, completely, because you've not experienced it. So just to put perspective out there, obviously, EU West, I've peaked at Master, 44 LP Master, so not crazy high Master, obviously, but 44 LP Master I've peaked. In North America, I've peaked Diamond 2, I think it was like 80 LP, but I stopped playing. I could have kept climbing. I think my win rate was about 56%, so it was still pretty good and positive. But I had 180 ping. 180 ping. And I managed to get to high Diamond 2. And I could have kept going, but it did start to reach that level that the ping became a bit annoying. But I'm pretty confident I could have at least gotten Diamond 2. My experience was, yes, there is a slight skill difference in the servers, but that isn't necessarily a bad thing. Put it in perspective, if, let's say, my ping on EU West is 22 ms, so 22 ping I get on EU West. If I had 22 ping on North America and you had the same attitudes and everything, I would most likely choose to go play on North America. Because I treat League of Legends as a video game. Even though it's my job, I'm here to have fun. That's priority number one. And North America is simply more fun than EU. Not just because it's a bit easier in some avenues, it's the attitudes. So sure, North America has toxicity. Every server in League does. Most online video games do. But America, I had more fun with America. I had people, when I was playing on North America, be friendly with each other in Champion Select very often. Like, very often. That doesn't happen on EU at all. And I don't know if it's probably like partially a cultural thing, maybe even like a language barrier thing. It's hard to like obviously pinpoint, but I also think the pro scene is a good dynamic to go off of why the servers are different. If you look at EU pros, there's no personalities. You don't know who half of them are. There's no connection. There's nothing. Like they are there just to play the game. That's it. In North America, there's personalities that, you know who they are. Then they've, I don't know. There's just something more about it. That is basically the perfect translation to why the servers are different. America is about a little bit more about fun, personalities, a video game. EU is, I'm here for business. It's my job. Even though 99.99999% of solo queue players, it's not their job. It kind of feels like it is. That's the problem. So in essence, yeah, that's probably why. Like, EU is slightly higher in skill because everybody takes it so much more seriously, but that isn't necessarily a good thing. And obviously, the one above that is Korea is slightly above EU West because they even take it more seriously than EU. I'd hate to play on Korea servers. Just to point it out, if people like have an aspiration to play on Korea servers at all, you'd have a nightmare of a time. I'm sure Korean people and that are lovely, but they have obviously a culture that they play a lot of them in internet cafes. So you are paying per hour to be on a PC. So the idea of Korean solo queue is, if this game is over, I am leaving or going AFK because I am not wasting my money in this internet cafe of games that are pointless to play. Or like probably really hard to recover. So legitimately, I've watched stuff on Korea and dudes will leave games in first blood. When we occasionally go, oh, my bot laner gave up of first blood. That's the very occasional game. That's every game in Korea. Like, because they're just like, game's over, next game, and that's it. That would suck. So yeah, like, that's why Korea is probably slightly better because everybody takes it so seriously. But that's not, again, necessarily a good thing. All right, next up is... what champ do I find most boring to play? Ooh, and again, another controversial question. Again, if I say a champion that you like, don't take it as a personal swipe. It's not. Again, you shouldn't feel a personal attack over a video game character. That's one thing to say. Just more basic ones, really. Tryndamere, Master Yi, and stuff like that. To me, that the champions that just don't have any depth, pretty much. Like, they just don't have... layers, if that makes sense. Like, if you're playing Tryndamere, everybody knows in that game what you're doing on Tryndamere. If you're playing Master Yi, everybody knows what you're doing on Master Yi, because there's only one thing you can do. Run at people and auto attack. The end. So, in essence, yeah, the champions are just a bit more basic. They don't have layers. Maybe even you could call them outdated. And again, there's a place for them. But they're just not for me. All right, next up is, when will I do a tour of the Minecraft world? So I haven't announced this, I don't think, here on the main channel, but I do have a Minecraft server for Twitch subscribers to join. If you're interested, if you are a Twitch subscriber or you want to become one, awesome. Join my Discord server. All the details will be in the description. If you click like show more, it'll be all down there. And once you've linked your Twitch account with your Discord account, you'll get access to the Twitch subscriber rooms, including the Minecraft server room. And yeah, I just thought it's a kind of cool thing. While obviously we're all kind of locked up a little bit, if I could give people something to do and a massive community Minecraft server, I thought that would be kind of nice. I don't know if it's going to last long. I don't see it really lasting more than a month or so. But for people to kind of get, have fun just for a month or two, while what's going on, because obviously, again, I don't want to speak about it too much, but it does seem that things are calming down in a lot of places in the world. Here in the UK, I can see things maybe kind of staying the way that they are for another 3 weeks, maybe a month. And then, yeah, things should calm down quite a bit, which is cool. Because, yeah, things are hopefully going in the right direction in a lot of places. So that's good. But yeah, maybe we'll do a Minecraft tour soon, or at least I'll show, like, on stream, maybe an update very soon. All right, next up is, you always say you dislike one tricks. If you have to choose a champion to one trick, what would it be? Again, I get this question all the time. First thing to say is I am becoming a bit better in disliking one tricks. What I mean by that is I'm being more lenient on them. Again, especially with the times going on now, I've always said this point, but maybe I just haven't said it enough. If you genuinely only have one pick in League of Legends that you enjoy more than anything else, and you just don't want to play anything else, that's fine. Like, honestly, like, I've always thought that's okay. What I don't think is good is if you are a player that likes to play a lot of champions, but that one person told you, oh, you should just one trick to get rating, that's when I have a problem. I don't think that's a good idea. Only one trick if you genuinely think this is my champion, full stop. That's basically my view on it. But I am trying to be more lenient on them. All I would ask is, if you are a one trick that doesn't get your one trick, just dodge the game. So many times you see someone like who is having a terrible game, you'll click on their profile during the game. Oh, dude, he's a Diana one trick who didn't get Diana. Why didn't he dodge? That's all I ask. I think it's just a bit, if you are someone that is going to specialize in one champion, then I think you've got to accept also the consequences of when you don't get that champion, and that's when you should dodge. So that's my opinion on it. But again, there's no point me answering this question, because it literally doesn't interest me. I know to some people they won't get that. They're like, but I've always one trick. That's my thing. That's your thing. I'm the complete opposite. I get bored of playing a champion if I play it 2 games in a row. I legit cannot one trick. I can't even get it in my mind about one tricking. So it's just not for me. If it's for you, go for it. Next up is, do I plan to play a particular champ before a game, or just pick a champ your heart tells you to go randomly? Not really either. I don't random pick. I go with my gut of what the game needs. So do I plan ahead? No, because my champion pool is very large, and I pick personally to what the game needs. Obviously, that's made more difficult sometimes. If I'm legit first pick in the game, well, then it's like, well, I've got nothing to go off. I don't have a team comp to go off that my allies have got. I don't have the enemies to kind of go off. So that's more difficult. So I'll go with something more generic. So Shen or Set or something like that if I'm top lane. But yeah, overall, I like building to team comps. I like having comps that make sense. So if I've got an Orianna, Shyvana in the Orianna mid, Shyvana jungle, Ezreal AD carry, Yuumi in my bottom, like, that's a pretty good team fight comp. Okay, I'll pick something that complements that. Or, okay, the enemy top lane has picked Sion. I'm going to pick Darius this game because Darius owns him. That's how I pick. But obviously, it depends who you are as a player. If you're a one-trick, well, then you probably know what you're playing every game. That's just not what I do. So, yeah. Furthermore, obviously, in the duo series with Vixie, there is also an element of slightly synergizing our picks. If she picks Orianna, which is a great wombo combo team fighter, that's again when I'll look to pick something that may complement that, like Set or Shen. If she's picking more like a solo killing pick, like Zoe, well then I can do a solo killing pick. So we both just win our lane. So it's kind of going off that. Next up is favorite thing to do to relax. Ooh, I'm quite busy. I like to be busy. Relaxing is something that I need to get better at. Considering, again, I think I've said this before, but obviously everything that you see in terms of YouTube content, stream content, everything is me. And a lot of people kind of forget that, or a lot of people think that that is maybe not a lot of work to do the streaming and then put that on, obviously, YouTube. A lot of people think, oh, you just get the VOD and then you upload it. Not really. Every game that I do is a separate video recording that I've got to audio balance and do little tweaks here or there. Do obviously have to edit it, then render it, then get that up to the YouTube channel. But recently, which has been actually for me really interesting, is obviously my pretty much best friend Vixie has been getting into YouTube, which has been fantastic. And again, if you've been supporting her as well, thank you very much. She does deserve it a lot. And basically, she's obviously been getting into the YouTuber mindset. And it's been, because I haven't thought about it in ages, but it's kind of funny that she sometimes is like, what do I title this video? It's something that a lot of people don't think about. Think about it. I do 2 videos a day. So every single video you're watching, I basically have to come up with some like marketing title that makes you want to click on that video. Every single video. That isn't the easiest thing to do 2 times a day, let alone once a day or once a week. And I've got to do that a lot. So that's an element that people don't think about, that you've got to do research, what's trending right now, what's doing well in the algorithm, all that stuff is background stuff that you guys will never see. A lot of people will never appreciate it, but you got to do. So yeah, sorry, that was a slight tangent, but what do I do to relax? So obviously I would say video gaming, single player story video gaming, but my biggest thing honestly is jumping into bed and just chilling. That might sound pretty obvious, but I am a massive person to watch movies, to watch TV series, YouTube content, streams. And my favorite place to do that isn't here on my chair right now. It's in bed. Like, I love just chilling in bed. I will legit get in bed sometimes at like 9 p.m., but I won't go to sleep until like 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning. And that whole time, I'm legit watching stuff, watching a movie, watching a series, watching streams. That's legit what I do every night. It's great. It's like a wind down that I'm like in my little bubble. It's like no one can affect me. I'm in my little bubble. Leave me alone. And that's when I genuinely don't check the YouTube comments anymore, because that's something that as a YouTuber you've got to try and not get addicted to, is constantly look at the YouTube comments. So yeah, like I do my best in that regard to just wind down. Because it's good. You know, the one thing with being a content creator is, you know, in the day, you're always on. Like, always. You're always, like, firing. You're always on. You're always thinking. You're always checking emails. You're always checking YouTube comments. When you're live, you know, you can't rest. There's no down moment when you've got hundreds of people watching you 24/7. Everything that you say, everything that you do. You know, you want to scratch your nose, 500 people are watching you scratch your nose. So it's good to have that kind of wind down moment each night. So that's good. Next up is, do I think damage is the counter to skill? Feels hard to outplay a Rengar one-shotting you out of his ult. Sure, yeah. I've heard this argument before. If you're like an insane AD carry mechanic player, but you just legit got one-shot by a Rengar or an Echo, what can you do? Yeah, I agree. I do think the damage numbers in League at the moment are maybe a bit too high in general. You know, when tanks are even able to kill stuff pretty easily and they're not even buying any damage, possibly there is a bit of a problem in the game right now with damage. But yeah, like there's too many champions that maybe even could one-shot, and the skill expression of, I can dodge this, dodge that, move out the way, oh, I can do DPS, it does fade by legit getting just one-shot by an Echo EQ. You're like, oh, I'm dead. Oh, I couldn't have done anything. Hell, even some of these abilities, again, they follow you after you've flashed. So if you flash an Echo E, he can still hit you with his E. And just like, oh, well, I just took 1,000 damage. Okay, cool. So I do think that may have to get looked at in the near future for sure. Next one, and we'll do, I think, one more here on the Discord server, then we'll quickly look at the Twitter, is I said about getting a house soon, any pets I'd like in the house. Again, would I like a pet? Yeah, I'd love to have a dog, but I don't think I would get one even with moving out. For a couple reasons. One, it's going to be the first time that I've moved out, so I've got to, you know, make sure I know what I'm doing myself in general and looking after myself with moving out for the first time. And also, for me, I probably wouldn't want to have a pet by myself while I'm doing this job, because I think that would be kind of unfair. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I think that could just really confuse a dog for, like, Human is home right now. Human is in that bedroom recording stuff. Obviously, he doesn't know I'm recording stuff. But Human's in that room. Why won't Human let me in that room? I know Human is home. I think that could just probably confuse the dog quite a bit. So, yeah. And obviously, it's like, oh, you can have the dog in your office. But then, obviously, there's the problem of distraction or whatever. So, while I'm alone, but, you know, which that sounds bad. But, like, you know, while I'm by myself type thing, I don't think it's a good idea. But maybe in the future. All right, let's head over to Twitter and check out if there's a couple over there, which there is apparently quite a lot. What's my hope for the new... We'll kind of go rapid fire for these. What's my hope for the new Volley Bear? Good question, actually. I hope he is I hope he's different to current Volley Bear. Even though current Volley Bear is quite strong... maybe I hope he's not a running champion, maybe. But there's a lot of running champions in League nowadays, so maybe he hits some type of gap closer that he doesn't have, but we'll see. It's hard to say. Am I planning to do more mini-series on my second YouTube channel? You are one of the few content creators I could watch for hours without getting bored. Would love to see more games other than League. Yeah, definitely. I think this will naturally happen with the move, because with the move, it will open me up to do more streams, more recording sessions, more late at night. So if you're an American and you can never catch my stream, or when I move out, I'll be doing later streams as well. And with doing more streams, we'll also open up to more like day off streams that, oh, I'm streaming for the second time. Like, I've already thought a couple times a week, I'll do my normal stream, which is 1 p.m. to about 6 p.m. UK time, stop for a few hours, restart the stream at like 9 p.m. and stream then from 9 p.m. to midnight. And some of those streams, the 9 p.m. to midnight ones, they might not be League streams. That could be just a Valorant stream, or that could be a single player story game that I'm liking. So that definitely will happen. Next up is... how do you get through Crater Burnout? Any tips or advice? Oh, I've never, like, well, I guess I have. Burnout, when you're a content creator, is something that you're going to have to, I don't know, learn yourself how you get through. I've only gone through it, well, here's the weird thing. I have never gone through Crater Burnout that has been to do with content. I've only been burnt out when I'm like, I'm on the main account and this feels pointless. That's when I've been burnt out. And obviously the answer to that is do something else. That's why at the moment I'm not playing on the main account. I have definitely been burnt out by that account. It just feels poop. And I'm having more fun in the duo series and Iron to Master, where we can just kind of chill a little bit more. And, you know, the game quality is still high. Both of those accounts have low diamond MMR, which, by the way, is the same as my main account right now. So it's not like the quality is any different. It's just weird mentally, and maybe even the account itself. I'm just doing better on the other accounts. And I'm not, by the way, I wouldn't even be surprised if one of the series overtakes the main account. And I don't even see that as a problem nowadays. Like, I've always thought, like, oh, I want my main account to be the highest rating account. Well, if, let's say, the Duo to Diamond series, we just extend that to Duo to Master, and we get those accounts to Master, does it really matter that my main account is Diamond 3 or Diamond 4 if I've got another account in Master? No, I'm still a Master player at that point. So I don't know. But yeah, just do something that like chills you out a little bit more is what I'd recommend. Next up is two more we'll go with. Let's see. Oh, what do I think of Valorant's anti-cheat Riot Vanguard? I mean, it's impressive, but it's a bit worrying. So again, I love Valorant, but I'm playing less of it in the last couple days because I'm a bit worried for my computer. So Valorant literally blocks any software that has potential loopholes or like cheats that people can kind of run through, like aimbots, wall hacks, etc. that have people, people have used in CS:GO. So a couple of those softwares at the moment are like MSI Afterburner, which for me, I have NVIDIA RTX 2080 Ti, an MSI one, that turns off like my fan cooling for my graphics card. I'm not a big fan of that. And I have been in contact with Riot. I had a couple of Rioters tweet at me like going, oh yeah, we are aware of this. But basically, Riot ain't going to do anything about it. It's not on Riot, apparently. Riot has basically said, we are working with the companies like MSI Afterburner, or MSI, to basically fix their software to stop having vulnerabilities. Then Riot Vanguard will not block it. So, yeah, like, it's impressive. It's going to probably stop a lot of cheating, but I don't really want to risk my PC kind of overheating at the moment, if I'm honest. So, yeah. Next up is, should we go for one more? Or is that going to be it? I think that's going to be it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's Q&A. If you did, throw a like on the video. Feel free to leave more questions down below. And again, hopefully you're all doing well, especially in times like this. So again, like, subscribe, comment below. See you guys next time. Peace.